All right, man, peace. You know, brothers, over the course of the last few months, I think that I've been more than fair to NBA superstar Kawhi Leonard, formerly of the San Antonio Spurs and now currently of the Toronto Raptors. I pretty much tried to view the entire situation from his perspective in regards to how the San Antonio Spurs have tried to manipulate the media to turn against him. I've tried to be an advocate for his assertion that he's been injured over the course of the entire last season. But there was an event that transpired during NBA Media Day that has made me want to reevaluate my attempts at being an advocate for Mr. Kawhi Leonard. And that was that crazy ass laugh that crazy ass laugh that he did. When the brother laughed like that, I said, what the hell is going on here? The man sounded like a donkey on crack. I said, what the hell is going on here? So anyway, they're going to talk about it. I'm going to chime in.
We got a first look at Kawhi Leonard in a Raptors jersey Monday, where Kawhi did something so rare that today it's actually a headline. He cracked a smile and chuckled. Yes, apart from reminding everyone he's focused on doing great things in Toronto, Kawhi was asked to describe himself to those who may not know much of him.
Let me say this, even though I'm joking around right now, the way that the mainstream liberal sports media treats Kawhi Leonard is really symptomatic of a major issue that is currently very pervasive, particularly in corporate America. That being the demonization of introverted people. And Kawhi Leonard is certainly an introvert, at the very least an introvert. At the very worst, he may be a monarch athlete, who knows? His storyline and his career path is consistent with an MK asset. But, you know, we'll find out. We'll see how things transpire with Mr. Kawhi Leonard. I just have to do a little bit of digging when it comes to him. But seeing as he has some roots in San Diego, we know he's from South Central LA, but he has some roots in San Diego. He was ferreted over to the San Antonio Spurs to be under the tutelage of Mr. Greg Popovich until he went through a little bit of self-destruct programming. It is what it is, or apparent self-destruct programming. Just to get back to the point, just in evaluating the Kawhi Leonard issue from a basic perspective, once again, is symptomatic and is really a microcosm of how introverted people get treated in this society, as if they're quote-unquote weird, or they willfully want to be outcasts or cast-offs or what have you. And oftentimes they're just people who are struggling with something, or maybe they just don't feel like they relate to the people around them for whatever reason. And oftentimes it's because they're highly intelligent, or they may have some mental or psychological or emotional baggage that they're not comfortable dealing with within themselves. So they can't open up a rapport with other people until they can deal with whatever it is that they're dealing with within themselves. Now, we know that Kawhi Leonard's father was killed. So who knows how that has affected him. It's just very glaring to me how many of the members of the mainstream liberal sports media talk about him. Men today have now been inundated with this concept of quote-unquote toxic masculinity, where we're told that basically, due to millennia upon millennia of male hegemony, we become accustomed to male entitlement. And that makes so-called men toxic to other demographics because of quote-unquote insensitivity, whether it be females or homosexuals or lesbians, etc. Now, those of us with a three-dimensional thought process, we know that this is just an attempt to engineer society by engineering the thought process of the man. They know that essentially the man is always going to be the head because that's what he was created for. So in order to get him to divest his role of the leader or the head of the family unit or society, they have to get the man to demonize himself. They have to get him to subscribe to a guilt complex. And it just seems very strange to me that they want to push the notion of toxic masculinity, but at the same time, they want to demonize quote-unquote introverts. But anyway, they're going to talk about it, and I'm going to chime in here and there.
I'm a fun guy. Obviously, I love the game of basketball.
I'm a fun guy. One of my favorite things is to play tic-tac-toe by myself, because that's how I set the party on fire. Yo, Kawhi is something else, man. The main thing that matters to Kawhi, you can tell, is basketball and his family. And clearly he knows how to interact with people because he has a wife and he has children. So that's really all that matters in the grand scheme of things.
I mean, there's just more questions you have to ask me in order me to tell you about myself.
I would like to get you to know me better, but I don't have a phone. My wife and kids talk to me by carrier pigeon.
I just can't give you a whole spiel. I don't even know where you're sitting at.
I don't even know where you sitting. Why you hiding in the shadows like Greg Popovich used to do? All right, so now we're going to see what LeBron James' biggest fan, Shannon Sharpe, a.k.a. Shannon Sharpe James, as well as Skip Bayless, think about the Kawhi Leonard Media Day press conference. So, of course, they're going to talk about it. I'm going to chime in.
A lot of people up here don't know much about you. How would you describe yourself, and what would you like people to know about you?
I'm a fun guy.
Even though you think I'm a crazy serial killer, I'm not really a crazy serial killer. I've only killed 6 people. I don't think that counts quite yet.
Obviously, I love the game of basketball. I mean, there's just more questions you have to ask me in order for me to tell you about myself. I just can't give you a whole spiel. I don't even know where you're sitting at.
You know, this to me is really a microcosm of corporate America. I say this all the time. Somebody like a Kawhi Leonard, he would never have fit in corporate America because he's just so different. So because he's introverted and because he won't give the media what they want in regards to transparency, they're going to demonize him for having a quirky laugh. To me, it's funny. To me, the brother, he's just one of those eccentric type of people who just happens to be gifted. But it's obvious what they're going to try to convert his form of self-expression into, that being that he's some crazy nut job. So the funny thing about Kawhi, though, is you can tell he don't give a shit. And of course, Skip Bayless is still upset that Kawhi Leonard is no longer a member of his team.
Oh, you're not helping him out there. I mean, it's so good. I've heard that laugh before. Okay, that was Kawhi Leonard and his very interesting laugh. Being introduced as a Raptor yesterday, Skip, what did you make of it?
I had bad dreams about that last
No.
night. That was creepy. That was haunting. That was awkward. That felt so forced that...
No, it wasn't creepy. It wasn't haunting. It wasn't awkward. All it was funny. We've all grown up with people who have funny laughs. It's not that big a deal. The only reason why you guys in the media are trying to make it into a huge deal is because Kawhi Leonard is not playing the game that you want him to play. He's not playing the woke game. He's not playing the super liberal athlete game. He's not playing the, look, I just gave a homeless person $5, take a photo of me so I could put it on Instagram game. He's not playing the slave to corporations game. All he is a person who wants to go out there and play basketball. He has his family. Yeah, he's a bit of a recluse. Who cares? Maybe all that means is that he's not living his life for public consumption. It's not that big a deal.
That after a while I thought, is that really Kawhi? Because it felt like Masai Ujiri, the GM sitting next to him, might have pushed the laugh button. Pushing it, right?
Well, who knows? Maybe Masai Ujiri is a handler. I've told you brothers already that many of these top-level GMs and coaches, that's what they are. They're also MK handlers. To a degree, they understand how to utilize and manipulate some of these assets across professional sports. As of right now, I still have to do some investigating into Kawhi. He certainly has a background that would seem to indicate that it could be a strong possibility that he is a monarch athlete. But who knows? Who knows? I'm going to leave the brother alone for now. What we know about him is that he is an eccentric, to say the least.
Right? Did it go over and over again?
Yeah.
Do you realize this man is entering his 8th NBA basketball season? And I'm pretty sure he's never had to do any media session like he did yesterday in Toronto.
Right, Skip Bayless. And why is that? Is it because his personality dictated that he not be involved directly with the media? Or was it because Greg Popovich has run the Spurs organization with such an iron fist that he always wants people to think of him when they think of the Spurs.
So, I watch, as you know, every Spurs game. I can remember maybe twice that he submitted to doing an on-court quick interview with, sort of Fox San Antonio, whoever had the game at that point. Just a quick stand-up interview in which he would utter 2 sentences that I can't remember and run to the locker room.
Right.
Well, once again, maybe because he did not want to be involved in the media scrum. He did not want to have people try to take his words and recalibrate them, reorganize them to push a narrative. Or maybe because he just didn't give a shit.
Right.
Because the Spurs never asked him to, never forced him to do any media commitments with anybody. He would not stand at his locker the way Parker and Ginobili and Tim Duncan would and do a little scrum of interviews, the way Shannon Sharp did after every game you ever played.
Right, but we all know that Shannon Sharp is extremely verbose. So you're comparing 2 totally disparate personality types. Once again, it is your normal attempt by the media to try to demonize introverts.
Did you ever duck the media one time? He ducked the media every time because San Antonio let him get away with that.
But you see why now?
Let me say this very quickly before Shannon Sharp James speaks. People are a lot like animals. People are not animals, but they're a lot like animals in that they can be conditioned on how to treat you, depending on the parameters that you set around yourself in regards to what you're going to tolerate and what you're going to feed into. They can be conditioned. Once you show people what you're going to respond to as opposed to what you're going to ignore, then they'll know, and eventually they'll follow suit. They'll say, okay, that guy don't fuck around, let's not mess with him. Or this guy likes to joke around, so we can approach him on a jocular manner or on a jocular tip. Somebody like a Kawhi Leonard, he knows that after a few interactions with people, when they see that he's not the most verbose or the person who's the most willing to articulate themselves, they'll leave him alone.
I guess so. I'm a fun guy. Who knew?
But let me ask you.
Fun how?
Let me ask you.
Well, we'd have to ask his family, because at the end of the day, they're all who matter. Is it truly that important that you think that he's a fun guy, Skip Bayless? We'd have to ask his wife and his children.
Let me ask you a question. Had he not laughed, would you remember anything from his interview?
No.
And that's why we're talking about it, because of that laugh, because of the creepy.
And let me say this, there are a lot of people who might like the fact that Kawhi Leonard says things in a very vanilla way. Derek Jeter, for 20 years, was able to make every comment that he put forth to the media as vanilla as possible, as has Tom Brady. That's a skill. Now, of course, we know that they're far more willing to speak to the media than a Kawhi Leonard is. But I think that Kawhi, in his own way, will very skillfully and adroitly be able to avoid any level of confrontational element with the media. I don't think that he'll ever be a person who has an aura of enmity around him from the media.
If you laugh, you're like, this dude got a van with carpet inside of it. I know.
Yep.
I mean, I'm like.
Well, hey, Shannon Sharp, you know what? Sometimes people are just quiet because they're quiet. Everybody who's quiet is not crazy.
Like, when I first heard it, I'm like, is this for real?
I can't believe this shit. Did this guy really laughing like a donkey on crack? This shit crazy. I got to call Braun and let him know we don't need that nigga in our locker room. No, we got to find another second banana. Because I can't have that man around my baby like that. I mean, he's a family man. It's him, myself, Savannah, and the kids. And we can't have Kawhi coming in the locker room all crazy. You never know what he might try to do. That nigga look, hey, Skip, you ever see that movie The Shining with Jack Nicholson? Kawhi looked just like Jack Nicholson. I was like, oh shit, this is crazy.
And then I'm like, okay, I hit the rewind button. I'm like, this dude, man, that's...
It's not a great sounding laugh.
Man, Kawhi.
What have I told you from the start about him? He's a weird dude.
He ain't weird.
He's
he just likes
really
to be
weird.
to himself. He likes to be left alone. And he wanted to be left
hoping
alone.
against hope that he's going to be LeBron's partner.
No.
That's more nonsense. Kawhi Leonard is a quote-unquote weird dude. I don't think that anybody knows him well enough to declare that he's weird, other than the fact that he's not particularly transparent. Leave that brother alone. Let him do him. If he wants to drive around in an old car and play tic-tac-toe by himself and all that other shit, finger paint, Who the hell knows what Kawhi like to do? Leave that man alone. As long as his wife loves him, that's all that matters. As long as he, keeps everything in its proper perspective.
No. We got something else up our sleeve.
And I'll be laughing just like that if he comes to LA.
Oh, no. Oh, no, we moved on, Skip. You had an opportunity to date us early.
You did.
You turned us down and we
Really?
turned...
You're off that bad?
Yeah, you have...
Hell yeah, Skip. Once again, I saw the nigga was crazy. I called Bron up. I said, you know what? X-nay on the Kawhi A. I had to speak in pig Latin because I didn't know if Kawhi might have a phone tap or something. I said, shit. No Kawhi for you, LeBron. No Kawhi A for the Lakers A. Hell no A. Let's go after Anthony Davis.
You have an opportunity to date Halle Berry when she was in high school. Could have got her, could have formed, could have shaped her like you wanted her. But you passed. So guess what? We moved on.
Yeah, Skip. Bitch like Halle Berry, you gotta catch her when she young and crazy. Now she old and crazy. Who the fuck want that now? That's how Bron is, Right now we in our prime. So we looking for the best of the best. We want KD, AD, Ain't nigga last name D. But Kawhi ain't gonna make it.
No, we about to get us a D. It's the only time that a D is good in class, because we about to get KD or AD.
Absolutely. KD, AD. Shit, we so old we might need an MD at the end of the season. Might need a doctor. Who knows? But shit, we gonna make it work. But we just don't need Kawhi. Hell with him. He's crazy. The man, who the hell Skip? In 2018, who the hell got cornrows with baby hairs in front of the cornrows? This nigga crazy.
Because you saw what he did over the weekend. That's
saw
not
what
a...
AD did.
Yeah, that's not a coincidence. You think that's a coincidence?
He saw it with Unclutch.
No, don't do that, Skip. Don't do that.
Unclutch.
Hey, Skip. Lil Birdie told me that we got AD on Clutch Sports because, by January the 15th, he going to be a Laker. Act like I didn't say that on national TV. Just act like you never heard anything from me.
Oh, because there's meaning.
Rich Paul.
Every move that we made.
Well, sure.
This move over here, we've already thinking about this move over there.
Yep.
Absolutely, Skip Bayless. Pay attention with your old ass. Don't you know we playing chess over here in L.A.? We playing chess. How you think Bron got the 3-6 in the finals? We thinking ahead, nigga.
You just didn't see it.
Then AD said he's onward and upward with New Orleans. He's fully committed. He's all in with the Pelicans.
For this year, he all in as he should be.
Hey, Skip, things change. I signed a contract with Fox Sports 1 to argue with your ass every day. Things change. I'm all in for today. Next week might be something different. Who knows? I might get an offer from somewhere. I promise you I'll leave your ass.
We don't want a guy thinking about what's going to happen in a year from now. We want him to be all in, get him another 28-12, and bring that right on to L.A.
Yep. So Kawhi.
Yeah, head on into L.A. and come be with Bron, KD, and AD. I promise you we're going to be the best thing since the Jackson 5.
I said yesterday he's all in with Toronto because he's the North now. He is it, man. Right?
Hope they get Jimmy Butler.
Yeah. Well, I say good luck to Kawhi when he the North because he had it made. He was in an
He didn't want it made anymore.
That propped him up and defended him.
Come on, Skip. Let's be for real. Who the fuck want to play in San Antonio? What's down there? Other than some stairs and some queers.
Him and protected him, and he flat out quit on my San Antonio
Spurs. You don't mind me
Spurs.
asking, Skip Bayless, do you think Toronto is going to make him do interviews?
I think that was probably the one and only.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yep.
So the Spurs affording him that luxury is not unique. All, especially in basketball, afford their star players certain privileges that no one else gets.
Yeah.
So that's it. You heard Kawhi that one time. You heard the laugh. You're like, don't laugh no more. But anyway.
Shannon Sharp say, you heard Kawhi Leonard. Oh, don't laugh no more. Oh, man. Let me tell you something. I hope Kawhi busts LeBron ass when he see him in L.A. I hope Kawhi give LeBron like 40 and 15 assists, man. Just to hear what Shannon Sharp going to say the next day.
Anyway, he's not going to have to do it, Skip. Let him enjoy his time. You guys had it. And
we thought.
Yeah, Skip, come on. Like you had a girlfriend for 2 years, and she left you. Get over it. It's over. I got her now. You had your time. Now I'm going to stretch her out. Shit. You ain't going to want her back when I'm done with her.
Oh, we had him.
No.
We protected him, and we let him out.
But that's what you get.
Remember what happened in the conference finals 2 years back?
Yeah, you heard it.
He hurt his ankle in Game 1 thanks to Zaza Pacheep shot, and we had gold.
Yo, Skip, never forget this old shit, man. Skip gonna be 107 years old. Talking about, remember back in 2017 we had our chance. It was Zaza Pacheep shot. Son of a bitch.
Had Golden State down 23 points mid-third quarter of game number 1 of the Western Conference Finals in Oakland. We would have closed that deal, but no, Pop let him off. He just said, let's not rush him back.
Yeah.
Let's just, that's how San Antonio, it's like.
But cheap shot later broke the man ankle, Skip. You saw the man.
It's the most conservative, protective organization of its athletes in all of sports. And he flat out turns around the next year, which was last year, and quit. He played 90.
Well, you know what, Skip Bayless? You have to blame the coach for that. Once the coach decided that he was going to act as some type of psychological manipulator, Kawhi Leonard sniffed it out and he said, you know what, I'm done with this.
9 of 82 games.
I believe Kawhi would have stayed. Tony Parker left, Manu retired. Had he not believed Coach Popovich ordered the code red.
Thank you, sir. Hey, Shannon Sharp, welcome to the channel, brother. Welcome to the channel. I used that same analogy when that situation first went down. I told you, brothers, that it reminded me a lot of that film, A Few Good Men. And now Shannon Sharp is using the same analogy. What do you know?
He believes Coach Popovich ordered the code red.
Yes, he did, because he did order the code red.
That's what he did.
What's the code red?
You know what he did.
Exactly, Skip Bayless. You know exactly what the code red is, or what it was. You're tapped in enough with the San Antonio front office. You know exactly what Shannon Sharp means when he says the code red. They tried to pressure Kawhi Leonard into conforming because they thought that if they applied pressure from the front office side, from the coach, from the players, and also from the media, that it would force Kawhi Leonard into a position where he would conform.
Yeah.
Did you order the code red? Yes.
Yeah. Put him on the hot seat. Yep. And all that Tony Parker and Manu want to know, are you with us or are you against us? Are you coming back for the playoffs or not? Because we think...
No, all they wanted to do was exactly what Popovich asked them to do. And they failed. They put too much pressure on Kawhi Leonard. And basically Kawhi said to himself, you know what, if they don't believe my word, then how can I trust them? Because I can't say anything around them if they're going to be so eager to do exactly what Popovich wants them to do.
I think we got a shot to make a run here, but we need you. I don't know. I don't know what he said.
And Loudon and Downey, they carried out the code red.
Yep.
Which was Tony Parker and Manu. Yeah, Loudon and Downey, that was the characters in You Good Men. Yeah. Ordered by who? Colonel Jessup.
Really?
Yep.
Okay. So, good riddance is what I say.
You glad he gone?
Yep. Onward and
The
upward.
best two-way player in all of basketball.
Skip, I have a hard time believing that shit. You really glad that man gone? Who you going to replace him with? Let me know. What little 6'3" European they brought over? Because you know how San Antonio, they like to bring in them Europeans. Who they going to replace Kawhi? I mean, shit, Kawhi got one hand bigger than some of them players on San Antonio right now. Oh, I forgot, they got DeRozan. They got DeRozan, that's right. I bet he going to be on the couch in Popovich's office all season. Talking about he having a breakdown. What you going to do about that, Skip? What you going to do? I can't wait.
DeMar DeRozan. We got DeMar now.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you know what DeMar did last year? Did you see him the previous 3 years against LeBron?
Yeah.
Hold on. He folded up like a banquet chair at the end of the night.
Yeah.
And that's what you want in San Antonio? Really, Skip?
I'll take him over a guy who won't play.
Whoa. Yeah.
Well, you know what, Skip? That's a debate for me. I mean, would I like DeMar DeRozan in a pivotal moment or Kawhi on the injured reserve list? That's difficult for me to figure out because, I mean, shit, basically I'm getting nothing either way.
He healthy now. Watch what he do up in the north.
Yeah.
I tell you what, I'm going to put it to you like this. I bet you Toronto will forget DeMar faster than San Antonio will forget Kawhi.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. There's no doubt about that. As soon as they made the trade, Toronto forgot about DeMar DeRozan. Because DeMar DeRozan is a third or fourth tier star level player. That's all he is. That's all he's ever going to be. Once again, it's laughable to me when you have these guys talking about DeMar DeRozan is what Michael Jordan would be if he played today. That's a big damn joke. If Michael Jordan was playing today, he'd be what Russell Westbrook is, except he'd be a 50% shooter, and of course he's about 3 inches taller. That's what Jordan would be today.
Oh, I want nobody to ever forget what Kawhi Leonard did.
Yep.
And on top of that, of course, Jordan would be great in the clutch, unlike Russell Westbrook, who normally has a mental breakdown in clutch moments. But just getting back to DeMar DeRozan he's a fourth level player. He's your third best player on a championship level team. To me, he's on that same tier as Jimmy Butler.
Yep. Kawhi won the
It's
championship.
the best organization in sports, and he just flat out said no to it.
Can you imagine if you didn't have
No
Kawhi?
one's ever done that to
LeBron would have went bonkers.
Yeah.
I mean, he averaged 28, 7, and 6 against the best two-way player in basketball.
Right, but Shannon Sharp, let's be for real. LeBron did not have a good finals in 2014 against the Spurs. He didn't. He had one good game. Game 2. Game 1, he was playing well before he, quote-unquote, cramped up for whatever reason. We know he always cramps up in those games where there's a lot of heat and a lot of stress. I wonder why his muscles get so tight. Things that make you say, But from games 3 to 5, he was not good at all. So, LeBron is a stat pattern. We all know that.
Best defender, on-ball defender in all of basketball. So if you didn't have him, LeBron probably would have dropped 50 on y'all, and you wouldn't have won a title. So you need to thank him.
Well, Kawhi did.
And Skip, that's what I tell Bron every night. When we go over them 6 final losses, I go through every last one that he lost, and I come up with excuses for his ass. Because if not, he have a mental breakdown, and right now he the breadwinner. So we need him to feel good about himself.
Kawhi did miss a big free throw in Game 6.
Whoa, where is this coming from, Skip?
He missed a big one.
What about Tim Duncan?
Well, come on, Skip. What you gonna go back in time every shot that the man missed? I mean, shit. Okay. Kawhi was drafted back in what, 2011? You gonna talk about a free throw he missed in practice? I mean, shit.
He missing that layup.
That was later.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Manu did miss a free throw, but that's okay.
And then Bron, Tim Duncan tried to get a cheap layup. LeBron.
Did he?
Yeah, did.
Hey, Skip. And when Bron missed that 3-point shot and went out to Ray Allen, remember that? I'm gonna have a big poster made of that and put it in a frame, put it right over your bed. Okay? I'm sure your wife would be happy because she loved to have a couple big black mans over your bed, from what she tell me.
And then LeBron missed the final shot to tie, and I'm about to go to the bank, baby.
You ain't going to the bank.
Dancing.
You overdrawn.
Long
You know good well you were overdrawn.
The bank.
Jenny ain't got no money. He's overdrawn. I already know.
Chris Bosh dishes it over to the corner to Ray Allen, and the rest is NBA history.
Good.
Yeah, Skip, you still thinking about that, ain't you? That's still a nightmare for you, ain't you? When Bron dominated Game 7, just took over, and left you crying in the locker room. I knew you was in that locker room, Skip Bayless.
Going to the bank. Pray.
Saved LeBron's legacy.
You know you got a debit card, Jenny. You go to you like, oh please, Heavenly Father, please let this thing go through. You gave me some money.
Yes.
That's what.
Skip, I'm so happy. Every day I come into work, I could talk about Bron and make you feel miserable. If you think you mad about Kawhi leaving you, wait till I leave your ass. You know, I got a couple job propositions coming through. I promise you I'm going to give you 15 minutes notice that I'm leaving. The show started at 9:30. I'm leaving 9:15. I'm telling you, Skip, I'm out of here. Good luck.
What Skip was going, you know good and well.
Yeah, that's what I was doing.
Oh my God.
These guys still mocking Kawhi Leonard's laugh. It's going to be interesting to see how Kawhi does this year. I hope that he does very, very well. I would like to see Kawhi or Anthony Davis, but preferably Kawhi, win the MVP. But I'm sure that he's going to win the Comeback Player of the Year award, that's for sure. But anyway, peace.